Hello, you fabulous Fujoshi and fantastic Fudanshi, and welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another one of our weekly Spy Family discussion videos. Today we're going to be talking about episode 7. I am joined once again by the Startacular Stella Luna.
Hello, I'm back this week.
You are back this week. Everyone missed you. We were totally on our lonesome.
I know you all missed me and my funny commentary.
It was a tragedy not to have you. Everybody was upset.
Especially last week with the Stella stars.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, is just star.
The star.
The star stars.
With the star stars.
The star stars. Yeah, the stars like moon. Stars. Yeah, moon moons are what you get when you're dumb. Star stars are what you get when you're smart.
Let's go. Moon. I would be filled with moons. But, yeah, let's go ahead and sink our teeth into this week's episode.
I was right.
You were right. Yeah,
I was right.
You were right.
So last week I wasn't here to talk about my thoughts on last week, but last week's episode, I was like, Damien likes her. I know it. And JoJo didn't want to believe me. JoJo was like, no, that's not.
That would be weird.
That would be weird. And no. As a shoujo connoisseur, I know for a fucking fact the trope was there. It's literally Boys Over Flowers. In Boys Over Flowers, you have the main girl, what's her name? I know the guy's name is Tsukasa, but then the main girl's name is Tsukushi. Tsukushi is her name. Yeah, that's right. Tsukushi. Right? So in Boys Over Flowers, it's like girl goes to rich person school. There's rich boys. The biggest rich boy, like the big name in the school, is a dick. He's a dick, right? And she kicks the shit out of him because she gets mad at him.
Nice.
Because he was bullying her friend.
Let's go.
She kicks the shit out of him. And he's just dumbfounded by it. And that's the moment he falls for her, because he's a rich boy. Everyone is always sucking up to him until that one girl comes in and beats the shit out of him, and then he instantly falls in love. That is the trope. And it was right there. So then this week, when we see Damien being all flustered and being like, he's like, what is this feeling I have, right? He likes her. I was right.
You were right, as per usual.
I know.
Shame.
Thank you.
But
yeah.
You were right. And to be fair, it does make me like Damien more as a character, knowing that he actually likes Anya. Because how could anybody not like Anya? You know, like Anya. Everybody loves Anya. Anya's great. You know, obviously Damien likes her because they're two kids, and she punched him in the face, and therefore romance. I don't know.
I mean, it's just a trope, like a lot of times in shoujo, where you have like the rich boy or like the popular boy who gets like kicked or punched by the girl, and they fall for them because it's like they're not like other girls. They're not like other girls.
Are you saying Anya's a pick-me?
No, Anya's not a pick-me. No.
That's funny.
What I'm saying is like
they're not like other girls.
They're not sucking up to them, right? Which intrigues them. And I think that's a trope in a lot of just media across the board, not just anime, right? Because I've seen it like in there used to be like a Disney Channel like movie that was like, I don't even remember what it was called. But it was like pop boy, like, pop star boy who like meets a girl and she like doesn't even know who he is, and he like falls for her because of that.
Yeah.
Right, like that is it's just a trope kind of like across the board, and which is why when we saw Damien last week and that interaction happened, I was like, he's gonna like her. That's where this is going, right? And also, like, I guess it's not really spoilers, but like I've seen a lot of ship art of them like when they're older, before even Spy Family even came out. So I was just under the assumption like he's probably gonna like her. There's gonna be something there that causes this ship to be there, right? And not in a weird way. I feel like you could ship these two characters, like, because even though they're kids, right? It's like, but they're cute. Like having like the headcanon of they grow up and they grow old together and all that stuff, right? Like that's cute.
Yeah.
But I will say, it does put that kind of ship in a predicament. Because we know that Twilight has to kill Desmond. Like,
I don't know if he necessarily...
father.
Like, do we know that if he has to, like, straight up assassinate Desmond?
Well, I thought he said he had to assassinate him.
Because I'm pretty sure later in the episode he says, like, if it was just a matter of assassinating Desmond, then anybody could have done it. Like, they could have just sniped him from afar. Right?
Yeah.
Like, so I think it's more that they have to convince, like, they have to, like, get to Desmond. I don't know what the purpose is.
Yeah.
But I don't know if they necessarily have to kill him.
Yeah.
But who knows, you know?
Who knows? Twilight, though, this episode was interesting.
I was so disappointed in Twilight this week. I was like, oh my god,
I know.
And I love him. He's my husbando, you know? But I was like so disappointed. I just wanted to grab him and just shake him. I was like, what's the matter with you? Yeah.
Well, I was, like, he was so controlling of everything. Like,
because he's not in control.
He's not in control, right? Which I think up until this point, he was pretty much in control of everything.
Yeah.
Until this point, where he's like, this is all on Anya.
Yeah.
Because he can't force her to be in the whatever, the student whatever, with the Stella Stars.
Yeah.
And he can't really force her to be friends with Desmond, right? Not Desmond. Well, Damien. I mean, that's his last name. But like with Damien, he can't force her to be friends with Damien, right? The funny thing is, though, is that his plan went a little too well, and he doesn't really realize it.
Yeah, he wanted them to become friends. Now Damien just has a crush on Anya. He thinks that the plan has failed, when it's like, no, I think the plan worked a little too well.
A little too well, right? Yeah. Like, it's good. It's good that, like, he has this crush on Anya, right? And now we're gonna see...
It's beneficial for the plan, yeah.
It is beneficial for the plan, right? But I just think it's so funny because Damien's idea of Anya is so, like, different than what's actually happening, and I just think that's so funny. It was so... Yeah. It was so cute seeing him get, like, all, like, really, like him getting angry, and he was like, why do I feel this way? He's like, I can't let her know. I can't, and, like, you know, like, because he's like, she is so cute. You could tell he thinks that she is so cute, right? Like, well, first, she caught his attention by punching him, right? Yeah. And then now she's, like, being cute, and it's, like, driving him insane.
His freak out was hilarious.
His freak out was so
I will
funny.
Never admit it, and I will never forgive you. And he just, like, runs out. And of course, like, Twilight's like, oh my god, right?
Okay, but the one thing, this is from a writing standpoint, that it just kind of doesn't make sense, right? How come the two boys, like the friends, right? You have the football head and the other kid, like...
Yeah. Reverse Arnold.
Reversal.
Yeah, reverse Arnold.
Like,
yeah.
They noticed that his face was red, and they're like, why is your face red? And Twilight didn't notice. He just didn't notice, right? Because, like, if I saw that interaction, I would have been like, oh, he likes her.
I think maybe, like, the reason is that, like, Twilight wasn't specifically looking... Because I believe, like, their backs are to Twilight, I think.
Anya's back is to Twilight. Because remember,
I think it's the other way around. I think Damien's back was to...
No, because he runs... Because he runs past Twilight.
Yeah, but he turns around to run.
Anya and
he turns
Twilight.
around to run.
Oh, that Twilight's back was to them.
No, yeah, so Twilight was facing sideways.
Right? Oh, okay, yeah.
And then... like, facing sideways at the door, Damien gets mad at Anya and then turns around and runs away. So his back was to Twilight, I believe.
Now, keep talking, I guess. I'm gonna go look this up.
I'm almost positive that's what happened. I'm 95% sure
I am almost positive. So one of us is more positive than the other.
All right. Well, I guess in the meantime, I will talk about Twilight this week. Twilight is a character, obviously, that I love. I was a little disappointed not disappointed, but like it is in like, oh, what a bad show, bad writing. It was more just like, because I understood what they were doing, right? Like what they wanted Twilight to be behaving like this week, and it worked, because I was frustrated with him when he's just like, I don't understand why she can't, why she's not getting it, or why like she's not studying harder and stuff like that. And it's because she's overworked. Like we see it in the episode when we see her like falling asleep in class. Like she's just overworked. She has all this pressure to succeed, because Anya actually knows a little bit about the mission. She doesn't know everything, but she knows that peace is reliant on her doing well in school. All right, she doesn't exactly know what peace means, but like she knows that like essentially like this is very, very important. So she has all this pressure on her, and so she's completely overworking herself. And when Twilight gets mad at her and like says like, you're not watching your show unless you do this, that, or the other thing, it's like it's cementing that it's like Twilight was on the path to be like a really crappy dad, right? Like the way that he was behaving. Yes. So when Anya runs, like when Anya's just like, I don't want to study anymore, and just like runs into her room, and Twilight's like, what the hell? It takes your being like, when I was with my younger brother Yuri, we would like he would be teaching me stuff, and when he would get excited to show me, and I would praise him for it, right? So it's instead of disciplining Anya when she's failing, you should be rewarding her when she's succeeding. She should be working for your praise, not like to avoid a punishment. Like that's not helping your kid, right? And I actually like that there was like some solid parental advice like this week, and that it showed that like Twilight is kind of a screw up in that element. Like he's always been very good to Anya, but when it came to actually like being a straight up parent, when it came to like enforcing rules and stuff like that, he was just kind of not good at it. Like he was rushing. Yeah. He was rushing it. Like he was trying to get her to this point where like the mission, not realizing that, like he said, if the mission was just to kill Donovan, like it would have been just as easy to hire a sniper, right? Like if that was the mission, it would have been easy. You have to do this mission knowing that you have to take your time. It has to go slow, and it's going to be a process, right? Like, so you need to actually, if in order for this to succeed, you actually have to be a good family. You have to actually be a dad to Anya to make her want to study more, right? If plan B is failing, which it's not, it's actually highly succeeding. But if he thinks plan B is failing, then like, yeah, if you're going to have to go with plan A, he's got to like really take his time and handle situations with Anya with more care than he was giving. And he was way, way, way too controlling. It does make me realize that is Twilight going to just be there the whole time? Because he doesn't actually like have a quote unquote job like Yor does. Like Yor actually goes to work, whereas like Twilight doesn't really have to go to work, like he's a spy. So is he just gonna be like hanging out at the campus while Anya's at school? Like I just think that's really funny.
No, I'm not entirely sure. I kind of like don't want him to, because like again that would be kind of controlling, even if he was just keeping an eye on things. But like part of like he was rushing Anya too quickly to try and like get to the top, like instead of taking like time, right? And because like you can't just force someone to like know everything.
Yeah, exactly. And it's never gonna stick.
It's never gonna stick, right? Whereas like it, what could happen though? What would like be like what could happen if Anya, this would probably just like skip over so many things. If Anya just told Twilight that she was an empath or an Esper and that she could read minds, he could literally like stand outside of the building and he could just give her the answers.
That would like, see, that's the thing, right? Is like it would be kind of cheating if they all knew each other's secret, right? Like if they all knew like what the mission was, and that Twilight knew about Yor and Anya, he could use Yor and Anya's skills to actually benefit the mission, which I do think it is more fun that he doesn't know, right? Like, that they don't know about each other, because that way it's like they have to figure out these like more comedic ways around the mission, which I do think is fun. But that would be an amazing all the what if content creators, that would be an amazing what if they all knew.
Yeah, actually it would be. It really would be.
Yeah, that would be an interesting what if series.
Because it would be like really cheating if like he knew and he would just sit outside of the classroom and just feed her the answers. Essentially, like, he could get the test questions probably easily.
Yeah.
And then he would just give her the answers.
Exactly. Yeah, he could just think the answers, you know? Like, I feel like I would love to see a what if where somebody goes through like each episode of the anime like with the knowledge that the characters like knew each other's secrets. Like, that would be really interesting.
Yeah.
I would totally watch that video. But yeah, there is one other thing that I think we should probably dig into a little bit.
What?
We meet Yuri this week.
Oh yeah, we do.
In
meet
flashbacks
Yuri.
And in present. Yuri seemingly is like a really smart kid in the past, like with Yor, right? He's a smart kid. He really cares about his sister. And when we see him here, like in the present, he's like I forget what they say. He is like, we see him in like the PV for next week in like a military outfit. I forget what he is. He's something important. Like, he's like a ministry of something person, right? Like, he's in some way involved with like the government. And we see him talking with like a coworker who looks a lot like Jean from Attack on Titan. And this dude basically tells him like, "Hey, congrats, by the way. Did you even meet this guy?" And Yuri's like, "What are you talking about?" And realizes like, "Oh shit, my sister got married," and he had no idea.
Yep.
Yeah, that was a crazy moment.
It was a pretty crazy moment.
Because I kind of totally forgot about Yuri.
And then we're like, oh yeah, there's something about him that's coming up, you know. So
yeah, we I will say this, like I'll let viewers know what I know, because not like a big spoiler or anything. But if you want to know absolutely nothing about next week, then like maybe like mute here. But I do know like a thing. I don't know like story stuff. I just know about Yuri as a character is that manga fans have been like, there's only one thing about Spy Family that people probably aren't gonna like, and it's Yuri. And I was like, that sucks. Like, a lot of people say that Yuri is a bit possessive over Yor, we'll say. In a way that might be a wee bit uncomfy for some, is what I've been told. And that's not great. We'll see how the anime depicts it, though. Because, again, like, an anime is not its source material, right? It could be its own thing. So, for all we know, they change Yuri to be a little bit more toned down, maybe, to his manga counterpart. Who knows? But he is a cool-looking design. He pretty much just looks like male Yor, you know? Like, I think he looks cool. I'm excited to see him. And I wonder how he'll behave around Anya and Twilight. Like, that's what I'm really curious about, if he's gonna like resent them or not.
Yeah.
So that'll be interesting. But I think that's just about everything.
I think it is, yeah.
Alrighty. So with that said, outro. And that's going to do it for today's video, everybody. So we hope you all enjoyed. If you did, don't forget to boop that up snoot. Share the video around. And of course, I have to give a big thank you to our lovely patrons. Look at these beautiful people. All these people who help keep this channel afloat. I sincerely appreciate it. And of course, I have to give a big thank you to Asaki VT, Elizabeth Just Elizabeth, Jeremy P, Matt87 Eagle, Shadow Creative, Shiorans, Stephen G, Stevie W, Trapmaster, Trevor W, and Tristan G. Thank you all once again so much for continuing to support the channel over on Patreon or here on YouTube just by watching the videos. I sincerely appreciate it. Be good, and we will see you next time.